Oasis Audio presents Do All Lives Matter? By Wayne Gordon and John M. Perkins. Read for you by Calvin Robinson. Foreword by U.S. Senator Dick Durbin. Another heartbreaking headline, a grim milestone. Chicago surpasses 2015 homicide toll. By September 5, 2016, there had been over 500 deaths and counting. Every morning paper, every evening news brings us more reports of gun violence and death in Chicago. Videos showing unwarranted police violence, stories of first-grade boys lured into alleys and executed in gang retaliation, pregnant mothers shot, grandmothers gunned down holding toddlers' hands. After hundreds of such tragic stories, emotions start to shut down. But for Coach Wayne Gordon, these are not numbers and random stories. These are his neighbors in Lawndale. These are his friends at his church. This battle against racism, poverty, and violence is his life. More than 40 years ago, Wayne Gordon and his wife Ann decided to live their faith and make their home in Lawndale, one of the most dangerous sections of Chicago. It was not an easy decision for this white couple to make their stand on these mean streets. But the Lawndale Community Church they started is now a positive force for change, renovating apartments, building a first-class fitness center, mentoring students, running a medical clinic, leading an effort to bring restorative justice to the neighborhood, and clinging to a Lou Malnati's pizza restaurant to prove this part of Chicago can sustain a mainstream business. When you listen to this book, which Coach Gordon wrote with his longtime friend John Perkins, you can feel the pain and the promise in their words. Troubled, angered, challenged by the Black Lives Matter/All Lives Matter debate, they wrote this book to chart a path that looks honestly at our nation's battle with racism. Their take on the, quote, invisible people in America and the common ground we must find is inspired by their faith. When Coach Gordon struggled with the divisive national debate and the endless deaths, he found his footing by visiting the churches of his fellow ministers and praying with his neighbors and church family, and in the wisdom of his 86-year-old best friend, John Perkins. Wayne Gordon is clearly not lost in prayer. He is led by prayer. In Chapter 8, he challenges us to change our hearts and practice what we preach. His suggestions of specific actions we can take to demonstrate that all lives matter is the heart of this short and powerful book. Where many have lost hope, these two men have not. As Coach Gordon writes, always live believing that what is good and right and true and just will, in God's time, emerge victorious. All lives do matter. Introduction: A Sense of Urgency. I, Wayne, awoke on Sunday morning, July 10, 2016, with the deep conviction that something had to be done. Few would challenge the contention that violence in our country, including violence surrounding issues of race, has reached epidemic proportions. Police shootings of African-American men and turmoil in our streets, including in the predominantly African-American community of North Lawndale in Chicago, which I've called home for more than 4 decades, are so common it's becoming hard to consider them news. The violence, of course, is not confined to issues of race. No doubt many of the nearly 350 murders in Chicago recorded in the first half of 2016 alone had nothing to do with race. Nor are the killings limited to confrontations among individuals. Along with millions of Americans and others around the world, I experience some mixture of grief, fear, anger, confusion, and helplessness each time the TV screens and headlines are dominated by news of yet another mass killing, whether purposefully evil or completely senseless. Over the years, in sermons to my congregation and in individual counseling sessions, I have from time to time encouraged people to resist feeling overly burdened by the problems of the world. After all, it's easy to feel completely powerless when contemplating the magnitude of the challenges we face. Knowing that we can't do everything, we can fall victim to a kind of emotional and spiritual paralysis that prevents us from doing anything. Of course, I know I can't solve the world's problems, but I awoke on July 10th with a profound sense of urgency and determination to do something, to exercise whatever influence I might have to push back against the violence, the hatred, the intolerance, and the insensitivity that results in some people feeling insignificant, inferior, and unequal.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?